All right, today we're going to talk about a really powerful retirement strategy that, let's be honest, is often super misunderstood. It's called the Mega Backdoor Roth. And if you're the right person for it, it could literally be the key to a much wealthier and completely tax-free retirement. So let's dive in.
Okay, so picture this. You're doing everything right. You're crushing it. You're maxing out your 401k, maybe even your IRA. But because you're a high-income earner, you just hit a wall. You want to save even more in what is arguably the most powerful retirement account out there, the Roth, but the front door is just slammed shut. And this is the lock on that door. For 2025, if you're married and your joint income is over $246,000, you are completely phased out. You can't contribute directly to a Roth IRA. I mean, it almost feels like you're being penalized for your success, right? But what if there's another way in? So, this leads us to the first and probably the most common workaround you hear about. It's a really clever strategy that a lot of high earners are already using. Yeah, it's called the Backdoor Roth IRA. And honestly, it's a pretty straightforward two-step process. You put money that you've already paid taxes on into a traditional IRA, and then pretty much right away, you convert that money into a Roth IRA. It's a totally legal way to get around those income limits. But here's the thing. It's a pretty small backdoor. For 2025, the limit is only $7,500 if you're under 50. I mean, it's great for sure, but it's not exactly what you'd call mega, is it? And, there's another hidden trap here. If you have other pre-tax IRA accounts, like an old 401k you rolled over, the IRS's pro rata rule kicks in, and that can force a chunk of your conversion to be taxed, which can lead to a surprise bill and kind of defeats the purpose. It complicates things for a ton of people.
Okay, so if the standard backdoor is a solid strategy, think of what we're about to get into as, well, the supercharged version. It's on a whole other level.
Okay, this is the most important thing to get right. So listen up. Forget everything we just said about IRAs. Just for a second. The Mega Backdoor Roth has absolutely nothing to do with them. This entire strategy lives and breathes inside your workplace retirement plan, your 401k. This is the #1 point of confusion, and once you get this, everything else clicks into place.
So let's just put them side by side, make it super clear. The regular backdoor, that uses an IRA, and it tops out at $7,500 for 2025. The big hurdle there is that pesky pro rata rule. The mega backdoor, on the other hand, operates entirely within your 401k and allows for contributions that could be over 40 grand. The key thing there isn't your personal IRA balance, it's your employer's specific plan rules. All right, so where does this massive number even come from? Let's break down the math, because this is really the aha moment for most people.
Okay, so we all know this number, right? For 2025, you can put $23,000 from your paycheck into your 401k. And honestly, for almost everyone, that's where the story ends. They hit that limit and figure, okay, I'm done for the year.
But here's the secret. The IRS actually has a second limit, a much, much bigger one. The total amount that can go into your 401k from all sources, that's you, your employer, everyone, is a whopping $69,000 for 2025. And that creates this huge and honestly usually unnoticed gap. And the math here? It's actually shockingly simple. You just take that total 2025 limit of 69 grand, you subtract your personal contribution, that's the 23,000, then you subtract whatever your employer put in. Let's just say it's $12,000 for this example. And what's left over? $34,000. That is your mega room. That's your hidden contribution space. So here's a way to picture it. Think of this whole bar as that $69,000 ceiling. You've got one part that's your standard contribution, another part is your company's match, but that third, often massive block of space, that's the mega room. That's what you can potentially fill with after-tax dollars. Okay, now this is obviously a fantastic opportunity. But, and this is a big but, it's not universal. Access to this strategy is locked, and the key, well, it's held by your employer. To actually unlock this thing, your 401k plan has to have two very specific features. First, it absolutely must allow after-tax contributions. That's how you fill that mega room we just talked about. Second, it has to let you move that money into a Roth account while you're still working there. That can happen through what's called an in-service distribution to a Roth IRA or an in-plan conversion to a Roth 401k. So the big question is, how do you find out if you even have the key? Well, you've got to do a little homework. You can look through your plan documents. It's usually called a summary plan description, or even easier, just call or email your HR department or the plan administrator and ask.
You might be surprised. These features are getting more common, especially at bigger companies. But if you can check those boxes, wow, the payoff for doing this little bit of research can totally change your retirement picture. Let's look at why it's such a game changer.
So think about it. After you've maxed everything else out, where does your extra savings go? Usually into a regular taxable brokerage account, right? And in there, every time you sell for a profit, you owe capital gains taxes. With the Mega Backdoor Roth, that exact same money can grow, and all your withdrawals in retirement can be 100% tax-free. Over decades, that difference is just monumental.
You know, this strategy isn't just some small little tweak. A great way to put it is that it's a high-efficiency engine for building long-term, tax-free retirement wealth. It really does fundamentally change the game. I mean, just think about the sheer scale of this for a second. Using that example from before, you could potentially funnel an extra $34,000 into a Roth account in 1 year. That's more than 4 times the standard IRA limit. You multiply that over a career, and you start to see how people are able to build millions in tax-free wealth this way. So what's the big takeaway here? This incredibly powerful strategy exists, but it's kind of hidden in plain sight, right inside your 401k plan documents. Now, full disclosure, this is a loophole that lawmakers have talked about closing from time to time, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But for now, it's a totally legit and valuable tool. The only question left is, are you eligible? And if so, how much tax-free growth are you leaving on the table?